It's been nearly a week since a freak snowstorm took down trees and power lines all over Spokane. Tonight, the cleanup efforts continue, and we're checking in on the progress.
A few sprinkles moved through the area this afternoon, but much more sunshine expected to start our week.
The Seahawks have a bad start, but they recover, have a good finish, and win to improve to 5-1 on the season.
We'll take a look. We're comparing the damage at Manitou Park after this week's freak snowstorm. On the left is video of Wednesday, the day after the storm hit. On the right here, you can see a dramatic difference on Friday. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Tim Pham. People on Manitou Boulevard are still working on the cleanup in their neighborhood. Some streets were closed because of all of the debris on the road. KREM 2's Brandon Jones shows us how the cleanup is going. Brandon.
Yeah, Tim, it's been several days since that snowstorm rolled through, but you can still see the effects it left behind. I did drive up and down this street, and you can tell progress has been made. There's no longer debris in the middle of the road, and trash cans are filled to the rim with branches. Earlier this morning, Rob Jobson's backyard was layered with fallen debris from a maple tree just a few feet away from his house. It's the first snowstorm aftermath he's had to clean up since moving back to Eastern Washington.
Yeah, we were in a studio apartment in Seattle and came back here in late spring of this year. And cutting up wood and raking up leaves sure beats sitting in traffic, so.
Him and his wife worked during the week, so Sunday was the best day for them to tag team the mess and get everything out to the streets. The tree did give them a few problems, though. It knocked out power for a couple of days, and there's still branches on top of their neighbor's house.
All right, so this family was gracious enough to let me come out here, bother them on their Sunday afternoon, and help them take some of their debris out to the side of the road.
The fallen tree isn't all bad, though, because it's an opportunity to stack up on firewood, and Rob is taking advantage of the resources.
Yeah, we have some firewood now for car camping this fall and spring, and that'll be nice.
Others are using the change in scenery as a chance to get some festive photos in.
Look at your daddy and smile big.
All the debris that's been piled up in the middle of the street have been slowly changing colors and create a fall atmosphere that's picture perfect.
I've known of this area up in Manitou Park for quite a long time. Every single fall, all these leaves that just kind of hover over the street, kind of like that rainbow effect.
While Mom and Dad have pictures to last forever, the kids got a chance to play in the leaves. Yeah, it almost looks like a hurricane rolled through this portion of the boulevard, but for the most part, everyone I got to speak with, they had positive mindsets throughout the entire ordeal. They've got the trees and branches and all of the debris moved to the street. Now they're just waiting on it to be collected. Live from Manitou Boulevard, Brandon Jones, KREM 2 News.
Brandon, thank you. Well, dozens of people waited in line for a few hours at the waste energy facility yesterday, but today it's a different story. Anyone trying to dump debris left by Tuesday's snowstorm will have to wait, but in a much shorter line. The city says they're offering free disposal at their facility on Geiger Boulevard until next Saturday. Well, we saw some gray skies today, but thankfully just a little rain and not any snow this time. Meteorologist Michelle Boss is in the Weather Center with some nicer weather to start the week. Michelle.
Yeah, the second half of the weekend was a little bit on the cloudy side, and it was a little bit cool too. The few sprinkles that moved in came just when it would normally be the warmest time of the day, so it really depressed our temperatures this afternoon. Right now on satellite and radar, just seeing barely a few sprinkles, mainly across North Idaho. That will continue to push east. We'll keep the clouds around likely and maybe even see a little patchy fog to start the day tomorrow, but much nicer weather ahead for Monday. Currently 48 degrees. The best we could do was 49 this afternoon with the clouds and the rain. 47 in Coeur d'Alene, a little bit drier, a little warmer out in Moses Lake, mid-50s there, and still in the mid-50s down in Lewiston. The next 12 hours looking to be dry with mostly to partly cloudy skies. Temperatures slipping down into the 40s by evening, and we'll be bottoming out in the middle and upper 30s. Sunshine tomorrow, 55, and even warmer on Tuesday and Wednesday, highs in the upper 50s.
Thank you. Well, a downtown Spokane business closed early Friday after they received a mass shooting threat from a former employee. 41-year-old Chesed Johnson said allegedly threatened to shoot up his former workplace with an AR-15. Police say Johnson also made threats to shoot up the employer's office in Dallas. Because of the severe nature of the threats and Johnson's prior history, the business shut down operations Friday and remained closed yesterday. Police have not said which business he worked for. Officers found Johnson at his home, but but they didn't find any firearms in his possession. 2 U.S. senators have written an open letter to Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos. They want to know how the online giant recommends products to shoppers. Some customers complain the Amazon's choice endorsement may not be as good as advertised. Amazon puts this choice badge on products they say are, quote, highly rated and well priced. Those items typically sell 3 times better than the competition, but it turns out some companies pay for positive reviews to get the badge. Here are warning signs a review may be fake. Experts say watch out for a huge number of reviews for newer or not well-known products. The reviews may contain a lot of the same language, and there may be too many 5-star reviews. Amazon continues to expand beyond Washington. It's also coming to Idaho. The company is opening a fulfillment center in Nampa. This will be the first center in Idaho, and it's expected to bring 1,000 full-time jobs to that area. The 650,000 square foot facility is expected to open next year. Meantime, the Amazon Fulfillment Center on the West Plains is set to open sometime in mid-2020. Company leaders say they plan to start the hiring process 1 to 2 months before they open. Spokane employees will work alongside Amazon Robotics to pick, pack, and ship items to customers. All right, on to sports now. The Seattle Seahawks won again today by beating the Cleveland Browns 32-28. Karthik Venkatraman is in studio breaking down the game. And Karthik, the defense and special teams stood out this afternoon.
Yeah, Tim, defense and special teams were the story for the Seahawks. Both good and bad. To start the game, it was all about the bad, and it started with the opening kickoff. A couple of weeks ago against the New Orleans Saints, the Seahawks let up a punt return for a touchdown early in the game. That set momentum, and the Saints got off to a great start against the Seahawks. Well, the Browns took today's opening kickoff quite a ways and set up the Browns in great field position. Not much later, they scored a touchdown on this Nick Chubb run. He's going to bounce out to the left-hand side and score that tutty. The Seahawks responded with the touchdown on their next drive, but on the next Browns drive, they scored again and another touchdown, this time on a Baker Mayfield keeper right up the middle. Next Browns drive, here's a huge run from Nick Chubb. Are you starting to see a theme here? The defense and special teams weren't good early for the Seahawks. Browns scored another touchdown on this drive and got up 20-6 to start the game.
Gave them a chance to jumpstart this football game, and they got it done. They did a really good job. They looked great early in the game. We were reeling a little bit on defense.
I mean, I just felt like it was, we weren't playing how we needed to be playing, and I felt like, that's not the defense that we want to be. So I felt like it was important for me to get the guys together and basically just say, do your job, don't try to do too much, and, don't worry about the score, we'll be fine.
But the units that doomed the Seahawks early became their strength. Special teams. Here's a pump block from wide receiver David Moore. That led to a Seahawks field goal. Later in the second quarter, Trey Flowers came up with an interception. This didn't lead to any points, but it stopped the Browns' drive. Inside the final 2 minutes of the first half, Tedrick Thompson comes up with an interception in the end zone. Seahawks went down the field and scored a touchdown. So took one off the board and scored one. Third quarter, Seahawks come up with a fumble. Ziggy Ansah is healthy now, y'all, and he forced and recovered this fumble. Seahawks went down the field and scored a touchdown off of that turnover. And then in the fourth quarter, the Seahawks had a huge fourth down stop. That kept their lead for a couple more minutes. And then the K.J. Wright interception toward the end of the game that got the Seahawks the ball back at the end, and they were able to run out the clock from there.
I just loved the way we hung tough and stayed in this game. There were so many opportunities to let this game go one way away from us, and our guys just would not do it.
We got 4 turnovers, key turnovers, KJ being the biggest one because, got us off the field and kind of closed the game off.
Okay, let's talk some offense. This was a touchdown, yes, Russell Wilson to Jerron Brown, but it's what happens after the touchdown that I care about more. If you don't know about the boy band NSYNC, well, you've lived your life under a rock. This touchdown celebration was from their hit song, Bye Bye Bye. It might sound crazy, but it ain't no lie, baby, bye bye bye. So that's all. That touchdown celebration was amazing. It had me going. Some bad news for the Seahawks in this game. Tight end Will Dissly might have torn his Achilles. It was out all of last season with a knee injury. He was having a great season so far for the Seahawks before that injury, so it's kind of sad to see him go down. We'll keep you updated on his status. The Seahawks play the Baltimore Ravens next Sunday at home, Tim.
All right, Karthik, we're taking boy band name suggestions for those 4.